Let me start with a question. Have you ever found yourself saying something like, I used to be sharp. I don't remember things like I used to. I'm just not wired for this stuff. Or maybe you didn't say it out loud, you just felt it. You're trying to learn something new, a new platform, a new system at work, a new app that everyone else seems to get. And suddenly, you feel frustrated, maybe even a little embarrassed, maybe even defeated. And if you're really being honest, the thought creeps in, what's wrong with me? If that's ever crossed your mind, I want you to hear this clearly right from the start. Nothing is wrong with you. And what you're experiencing is not a personal failure. As we step into 2026, crazy, right? I wanted to start this year right here and on purpose. We know every January, the world starts talking about shrinking our bodies, fixing ourselves, and adding even more pressure. But around here, we're doing something different to start off this year. We're talking about feeling confident and capable in a world that's getting more digital by the day. So, we're kicking off 2026 with a conversation about technology, not as a test that you're failing, but as a space where your wisdom, your experience, and your way of thinking still matter deeply. Welcome to Aging with Grace and Style, the podcast where we have honest conversations about confidence, change, and navigating midlife with clarity, courage, and a whole lot of grace. I'm Valerie, and if you're new here, this is a space where we don't pretend to have everything figured out, and we definitely don't shame others or ourselves for still learning. And if you've been here a while, then you already know this. Around here, aging isn't something that we fear or fight. It's something that we engage with intentionally. And that's exactly why we're starting the year with this particular conversation. Because when people talk about technology and women over 50, the narrative is usually one of two extremes. Here's a basic tutorial, slow and simplified, or if you don't keep up, you'll be left behind. But neither of those really fits, does it? Most of us can use technology. We're not confused by phones or computers. We're not new to learning. What feels hard isn't the device, it's the pace, the pressure, and the quiet message that if we don't catch on quickly enough, something about us is slipping. And that's the part I want to slow down and talk about today. This episode isn't about mastering tools. It's about understanding why technology feels heavier now and how to engage with it in a way that doesn't chip away at your confidence. Confidence after 50 doesn't come from keeping up with everything. It comes from knowing how to think, how to choose, how to trust yourself in a world that keeps changing. And that's where we're going today. By the end of this episode, you'll understand why tech feels so heavy, and you'll have a gentler, more confident way to approach it this year. Let's get this out of the way. If technology feels harder now than it did before, it's not because you're less capable. It's because the environment changed, not you. Here are a few reasons that no one really talks about. One, tech no longer builds slowly on what you already know. Earlier tech evolved slowly. You learned one system and updates made small changes. Now, platforms change constantly. Interfaces move, features disappear, rules shift overnight. That creates cognitive overload, not incompetence. You're not failing to keep up, you're navigating constant disruption. Number 2, learning now happens publicly, and that triggers shame. Think about where we're learning tech now. In front of our younger coworkers, in group trainings where everyone seems faster, online where everyone looks like they just get it. So you're not just thinking, I don't understand this. You're thinking, what does this say about me? That isn't just tech frustration. That's identity pressure. Midlife brains are busy, not broken. Here's something reassuring. Your brain isn't broken. It's just busy. You're carrying career responsibilities, family dynamics, health awareness, emotional wisdom, a lifetime of context. Your brain is prioritizing meaning and patterns, not speed. So when learning is rushed, when learning is noisy, when learning is poorly explained, of course it feels exhausting. That's not decline, that's depth. Here's this personal story. I'm gonna be honest. I had moments where I thought, why is this taking me longer than it used to? I'm sitting there watching someone click through something quickly, and I can feel myself tensing up, not because I can't do it, but because I don't want to feel behind. And I realized the frustration wasn't really about the tech, it was about comparison. So the moment that I stopped asking, why don't I get this faster? And I started asking, what do I actually need to understand this? Everything shifted. It went from shame to problem solving, from what's wrong with me to what kind of support would help me here. Here's the part that most conversations miss. Technology today isn't just a tool. It's an identity pressure system. It constantly asks, are you relevant? Are you fast enough? Are you adaptable enough? Are you still valuable? And when you're over 50, that pressure, well, it hits differently because this stage of life isn't about proving, it's about aligning. So when tech feels draining, it's often because it's asking you to move in ways that don't honor how you learn anymore. That's not resistance, that's discernment. Instead of saying, I should know this by now, let's reframe it. Try, I'm allowed to learn this in a way that works for me. That one shift begins to restore confidence. Now, this is where we're going to go deeper because this is about how you show up, not what you click. Number 1, decide why you're learning something. Everything deserves your energy. So ask, what problem would this actually solve for me? Does this support my work, my creativity, or my peace? Or am I learning it out of pressure? Purpose reduces overwhelm. Number 2, give yourself permission to learn conceptually, not perfectly. I know that's a good one, isn't it? You don't need to memorize every step. You need to understand, what is this tool for? What does it replace, or what does it simplify? What decision does it help me make? Once you understand the why, then the how feels less intimidating. Number 3, build thinking confidence, not technical perfection. Confidence doesn't come from knowing every feature. It comes from trusting that you can figure things out, that you can ask clearer questions, you can pause instead of panic. That's maturity. That's not weakness. And number 4, redefine what keeping up means. Keeping up does not mean being everywhere knowing everything, adopting every trend. It means using what supports your life and ignoring what drains it. Choosing relevance on your terms. Now that's power. So here's a reflection prompt. I want you to sit with this for a moment. Where do I feel pressure to keep up, even though I don't really need to? And another is, what tech do I already use confidently that I never give myself credit for? What would learning feel like if I removed comparison from the process? Now, write one of those down. That's where confidence begins. So here's what I want to leave you with today. You're not behind. You're not broken. I know I have said that before in other episodes, so obviously it's true. And you're absolutely capable of learning new things without shame or urgency. Technology feels hard after 50, not because of your age, but because the world forgot how to teach adults who have wisdom and experience. And we don't have to accept that narrative. Your confidence doesn't come from mastering every tool. It comes from trusting yourself to engage thoughtfully, selectively, and on your terms. And that's a powerful place to be. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with just one simple invitation this week. When frustration shows up, and trust me, it will, pause and ask yourself, is this really about technology or is it about pressure? That moment of awareness alone can change how you learn, how you respond, and how you see yourself in the process. And next week, we're taking this conversation a step further. We're going to talk about how tools like AI can actually support your thinking and not replace it. Because this chapter of life isn't about catching up. It's about moving forward confidently, thoughtfully, and on your own terms. Until next time, keep aging with grace, style, and a touch of sass.